Alright, we're going to be getting right into it today for you guys. This was my Diamond 4 to Diamond 3 game. In my opinion right now, there's really only two ways to play the game, to climb. And that's like the bilge water comp, where you just play all the bilge waters, or you play like Azir with Shurima. And you tech in like just legendaries where you find them, right? Opening up, we're just going to be grabbing whatever pairs we can get, and we're going to be just trying to make econ where we can, right? So we see the little bit of a mutant opener here, and with everybody, because the set just dropped, with everybody wanting to go play the new good stuff, sometimes playing, you know, Old Faithful isn't always the worst, right? And me looking at this now, I was thinking about going like a mutant opener, but I've seen people will rock like Kai'Sa with Fiora, and that'll be like their 2-star 4-cost carries over going the Sorks route. So I was thinking maybe I'll hold on to the Aurelia or something like that as the pair and see if we can make that happen. I usually go with like default just Ornn items the whole time lately, but I really feel like in this instance, I get more bang for my buck out of immediately getting these item components. So they did remove Chalice of Power, which would be really good if we wanted to go for Sork here. They changed it to Adaptive Helm, but in this instance I wouldn't go it, right? And at this point, now, there is a few ways to play this, guys, and I don't even know necessarily if what I did here was correct. By me buying this Taric and Rek'Sai, am I getting higher tier units? Yes. Am I ruining my econ for the rest of the game? Yes. I don't know if this is always the best play to do, because usually by the end of stage 2 going into Krugs, you want to have about 20 gold. And I feel like I was just broke the whole game because I started holding on to these 3-cost units. Especially here now where we make 10 gold interest and we hit the Rek'Sai pair. You know, we might go the whole game without ever even seeing another Rek'Sai, and you could throw your whole game away here. You know? So just something to think about, right? 2-5 is usually when we level up here, right? We could go for Taric pair, blue buff isn't bad. We could go to, we had great units on this carousel for us. Could have grabbed the Rek'Sai for redemption. I want to finish off one of these pairs, right? No matter what, and we got a large rod off of it. So it's not too bad of a pickup here. And we high rolled and we found the Rek'Sai too. Now there's a few ways you can play this. You can either think, okay, I'm gonna go reroll for like Vel'Koz, Taric, Rek'Sai. Or you can start viewing it as, okay, I'm gonna go high and wide, go for 6 Void, and then get in, you know, the Fiora Kai'Sa. Or I could go 4 Sorks. You're kind of like etched into stone what you're gonna be doing here pretty soon. And a little bit of the positioning matters here, right? I probably shouldn't be frontlining this Cho'Gath. I should be moving it back a hex, which I think I do here in a moment. Because the way the units wrap, and you really want Taric to kind of like spam his shield and let a lot of damage goes into it here, and allows Cho'Gath to wrap and maybe get off a second bite, you know? It's the micro adjustments here is what makes all the difference in the world. So you'll see everything focuses the Rift Herald, it spams its shield and whatnot. So we're in a really good spot right now. We're really strong for stage 2. Now, if you freeze here, guys, and if you want to play correctly, you freeze here, you don't make the Malzahar pair upgrade, and then you just see what you get off Krugs. Because if we don't get gold here, we really want to be able to make 20 gold interest, right? And we're doing a little bit of high rolling here. You know, I'm getting a lot of just what my comp needs entirely. Especially with the Ionia augment. We're doing good for ourselves here. Now, some people will pre-level to 6 here on 3-1 to like try to preserve a streak, but we are so broke. I don't even think we can afford to do it. Because if we nuke our econ here, we are just out of the game. Getting to 8 is going to be impossible. And one thing to think about is that Mutants has a lot of AP in the comp, so you're going to need 1 or 2 shred items. You're going to need Ionic or Static Shiv. And you go Bronze Ticket here if you're going for reroll, but at this point I kind of made the decision not to go it. And because I want to slam these items on Kaisa, you're not going to see me slam these items on Vel'Koz right away. I was kind of wanting to max greed a little bit here. I was thinking about placing it, but I was like, no. We really don't have the gold interest to do reroll, so we kind of have to go like high and wide, right? So usually if you want to go reroll for like Rek'Sai or Vel'Koz, you want to lose streak or just have high econ and then reroll on lower tiers for a minute. But we're not going to have that luxury. Especially all the people who've been lose streaking this whole stage, they're going to be starting to pump levels. So we want the Kaisa here on the carousel. We're going to be looking for anything to really kill these components. I mean, I'd go for like a Thieves' Gloves as well here if I could. We wanted to get the tier off the Echo. That way we could get Spear Sojin for Kaisa so her ulti actually works. And once we found the Silco here, we're on 3-5. I power leveled here and just rolled down quite a bit because we have a lot to gain here, right? If we hit 1 Kaisa, we have direction. If we hit, you know, the Taric upgrade, we stabilize our win streak indefinitely here. So we're not in a bad spot. I don't want to be sitting on Vel'Koz pair, Taric pair, and have the ability to get like a Kaisa out onto the board. And to be able to preserve streak. That's the most important thing. Because although right now we're only making 1 gold interest, with the I think, I don't know what the win streak is. I think it's like +3 gold. You're missing out on all that. So technically we have 40 gold interest, right? We really lucked out hitting the Scion here. A lot of luck came into us doing well in this game. But I also think it knows with what to go with it. Like here, you know, the Gangplank seems cool and all to buy, but it's just not worth it. It doesn't fit into the comp at all. And I don't think we're going to be going for Taric 3 or something advantageous like that. And they changed Zephyr now too. I kind of like this new item that they made. It's like a shredding, like tank-based item. Within 2 hex, gain 20 armor magic resist for first 10 seconds. Which you don't really need double shred, but I mean we do need a 3rd tank item on our main tank, right? And at this point, we should have probably taken Golden Egg because we're win streaking. We figure we're gonna be able to at least get the 11 turns, but I really don't like Golden Egg. I've just had bad experiences where I just get trash out of it. So you don't want to double stack like Jewel Gauntlets or something on Silco here. You're going to want to like change up the, you know, you're going to want to have a different variety of items that compound off one another over just like stacking like 3 Jewel Gauntlets, right? And I don't know, man, you guys are going to see it here in this game. Nyla's numbers are not balanced, especially like if somebody hits Pandora's Box, and I know it's like a meme build. I don't know if it is actually, but where they rock like 3 rapid fire cannons on Nyla. She does way too much damage. She just starts master blasting everybody. And what you're seeing me doing is I'm starting to do a little bit of scouting in terms of when you fight the rogue, like, reroll players, you really don't want to have your Silco or your main carry on the side of whichever way the rogue's gonna Harlem Shake and go to your backline. And we're gonna be looking to finish off the large rod here, so Gunblade's a good go-to, you know, Archangel's a good go-to. We already have Sunfire, so we really don't need Morello. Deathcap's a good go-to. Because I'm gonna be removing all these items anyways and putting them on Kaisa when we finally put her out onto the board, right? And we want to keep our interest high, even if we start losing a whole lot, because we want to be able to go 9. I pumped levels here to be able to get the Kaisa out to keep the streak. And this is something to think about, guys, like really forcing levels, really doing like all-ins. You know, losing to this guy here and then getting my streak all scuffed would be just a horrible way to throw the game. 4-5 is usually when you do go level 8 though. Or 5-1. So you guys are thinking, what's your max cap board? Well, when you play Void, you really can't fit the Heimerdinger out onto the board unless you want to drop down to 3 Void. And from here, when I go to level 9, I'm planning on getting in Scion 2. I want to switch out Ari for Silco. I want to be able to get into Belveth out onto the board. And since we want to keep Scion out there instead of Cho'Gath, we're going to just have to go 9 for the Kaisa, right? I don't know how Quinn works this set. I'm pretty yeah, Quinn. I don't know how Quinn works this set, if she works like Zyra from a few sets ago. But I don't think you can line up all your units in the background like I'm doing here now. I gotta learn how the new units' abilities interact, right? I really don't think Silco's a carry like how I'm playing him this game. I think he's supposed to be just like a support buff, where you just rock blue buff on him and he just giga spams a spell, because this was not it, man. Like, I would think with like 3 damage items on a 2-star 4 cost, it'd be doing a whole lot more than whatever this is, right? And this is what I meant to tell you about, like, Nyla. I just don't know what's up with that unit. Unit's, like, just giga juiced. And it takes no damage. So we're gonna be looking for Belveth items now. And since we know we have Kaisa, who's a challenger, and Belveth likes attack speed, we can get out another synergy out of the board by putting the spatula on Belveth here. And I'm gonna just power level here, that way I can get out the... So this way I know we are presenting strongest board to where I don't bleed out. The vast majority of my board is upgraded. Naturally, we're gonna find Scions and Belveths now because we're level 9. We find Kaisa, that's good. And then we're just looking for Aries now. So it's not bad to power level here and just sit for a little bit. Because even if we do take losses here now, we're not taking 15, 20 damage. You know what I'm saying? just want a third Belveth item here, and you need Last Whisper to be able to get through everything. We're gonna sell the Heimerdingers here because we're never gonna fit Heimerdinger out onto the board. I think we're just keeping in the 6 Void. I don't want to flex and pivot too much at this point. Although I don't think it'd be wrong in some regard to drop down to 3 Void or, you know, just lose it entirely and start pivoting to a full legendary board here. And at this point I realized I had quite a few Silcos, so I was like, okay, with the Nico, maybe I can go for Silco 3 here. And see how we haven't even removered the items yet off Vel'Koz to Kai'Sa? Because until Kai'Sa hits, like, her upgrade, she's basically useless. You can't bank on her being able to get her ulti off. I will say, though, that this, like, one Challenger emblem is actually pretty depressing on Belveth. I was expecting a whole lot more out of it. So if you guys really wanted to, I wouldn't blame you here if you, like, removered the Challenger emblem off the Belveth and, like, put, like, a 3rd damage item on her. And at this point, I was like, okay, I have... Because I was still debating on going Ahri, right? So we're at 6 out of 9 Silcos here. Probably shouldn't have Donkey. Probably should have saved on to all my gold until I came into neutrals to roll. So we're at 8 out of 9 Silcos now. If we money managed better, we could have probably hit it this game. And we want to hold on to Nyla because this guy on the other board right now is going for Nyla 3. I might have not explained that with like scouting too much, but yeah. You pay attention to it in game, but when you're doing this, you don't think about it too much. But yeah, this guy's going for Nyla 3. If you really wanted to be vindictive, you could Nico the Nyla here, because we already won the past combat. That way you take the Nyla out of the pool, so there's no way he'd hit it for sure. So, alright, I hope you guys have a good day, and I hope you got something out of it. This was the game where I got promoted to Diamond 3. I'll probably do this for each of the games where I get promoted. Have a good day.